Okay. Hi,
Hi,
hi.
hi. Start from the beginning.
Well, yeah, tell me.
So if we go, start with the SI, I was a national level rower. I was born with a club foot on my right, and my right leg is longer than my left. Just preferentially, I never stood on the right. I would always stand with it bent. With rowing, as I progressed through the levels, they really want to focus on my drive off the catch, and so I started trying to push more symmetrically with my legs, and in the midst of one race I actually separated my right SI. So as I drove, I sort of imagined shoving the leg back and separated it, which was diagnosed with the x-rays. I had a gap. That seemed to recover okay. Fast forward to getting pregnant the first time. I was quite concerned about what was going to happen pregnancy with an SI that was very unstable, and it was actually the best I'd ever felt when I was pregnant, and I assume it's because the baby wedged down in my pelvis, and for once my pelvis finally felt stable. That delivery was very difficult. I had a 4th degree tear. I had significant hemorrhoids, and that's when the rectocele first came about. But I was fairly symptom free after that pregnancy. It took me a while to get back to activity, but I was able to return to everything eventually, and was running and had my sort of ongoing SI pain that I would get now and then, but it actually was always better from that point on. With my second pregnancy, again, just everything got worse. The rectocele got worse. I got significant varicose veins in through the vagina, and only on the left side of the body, on my left leg. His delivery was fairly standard as well, but the hemorrhoids and the rectocele got much worse. I saw a pelvic floor PT after that pregnancy in the hopes, my concern was always the hemorrhoids more so than the rectocele, because they were what bothered me more. I started having having bowel movements. I'd have to support myself to have a bowel movement to be able to hold the rectocele in, and then because of the difficulty, that would make the hemorrhoids bad, so it was all sort of tied together. Through breathing strategies and exercise, again, it was manageable. With the third pregnancy, the varicose veins, everything returned instantly. I was quite a bit more pain in my pelvis and with the rectocele and with the hemorrhoids, to the point that it was really difficult to care for the other two children, who at the time were would have been 4 and 2, and so they still required a lot of lifting, and I struggled to say no to my kids, so I'd still be lifting them, and often then the minute they were in bed, I'd spend the rest of the day or the rest of the evening laying down. So I got quite a bit of deconditioning during that pregnancy, and then his delivery was an emergency C-section, where I was actually, from the first contraction to the time he was delivered was 30 minutes, and I was knocked out. So the recovery from that was entirely different than anything I had experienced, and in just the pain of a C-section. Let alone, I felt like my abdominals and my pelvic floor just didn't rebound after that. That recovery was, I could blame it on being a third baby, I could blame it on the C-section, but that was mentally really difficult for me, because I had really expected the recovery to be like my second child, that I would just be able to, and this is where it gets emotional, get back and care for my kids again. And I had hoped that as soon as the pregnancy was over, I would be able to lift my kids.